Welcome to Pride Against Prejudice, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast.
Hi, I'm Simon and I'm playing Huggy Bear.
Hi, I'm Al and I'll be playing Maverick.
Hi, I'm Jack and I play Toyga.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'll be playing Sunshine.
And my name is Rhydian, I am the GM. If you would like any bonus content, a link to our living campaign map can be found in the show notes, along with a link to our Discord where you can get occasional bonus episodes, and if you'd like to add locations to the map or just ask us questions, you're welcome to join us there. If you stick about for a few seconds at the end of the episode, we also have a question for you as well. Following content may contain themes and materials not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Before we dive into the episode, here's some pay data on another one of the Shadowrun podcasts out there for you to listen to.
Hey there, Chummer. You ready to record this thing? Alright. 3, 2, 1. Your go for, what was that again? Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast. Good luck, Chummer.
Hello, Ome, and welcome to the Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast, a Shadowrun 4th edition actual play podcast. My name is Paul, and I am the GM. The cast are Beth as Grace, aka Nightingale, Val as Ollie, aka Boxer, Veronica as Cecile, aka College Girl, and Kat as Deandra, no, aka. Jandron over here as we spin you a whiz little tale right out of the Tridio's true Shadowrunner origin stories. 4 very different women from very different walks of life, thrown together and cast into the shadows. Listen in as they learn to survive and work together and find common ground. For one of them, this life is a significant downgrade, and they will not take well to it. For others, it is a calling. For another, they are drifting from the light into the shadows. And for yet another, the 6th world is an assignment, and the events they are being sucked into may be just the insight they need. The Hard Knocks Sorority Podcast features ex-mercs whose history is catching up to them, a pony from Equestria on a mission from Celestria herself, a college girl who likes writing murder mysteries and snooping where she shouldn't, and a dryad ex-cop in Seattle looking for her missing brother. Life is interesting and compelling when there are differences amongst us. Who wants to live life as a clone in an army of wage slaves? So fire up your Tridio set or TrodeNet and join us. We're happy to have you along and look forward to hearing from you.
So, that was it, Chummer? That's all? Alright. Fair enough. Good luck with that. Folks listening in, back to the good stuff.
Now that the team have escaped and gained some breathing space, it's time to make the drop-off and finally get paid for this utter drekshow of a run. Oh yeah, we should probably see about that bullet in Sunshine's gut as well. Come to think of it, why are your eyes glowing? You're all sat in the back of the van, and I believe that Sunshine has been patched up a little bit. Toyga was also slightly interrogating Sunshine about how the hell are you now awakened, but also feeling guilty because he was worried about her and it was manifesting as anger.
Sunshine and saying, let's get you to a street dog. Find out what the flag has happened.
Yeah, there was a certain amount of discussion about taking her to a street doc. Not only for that, but also for, the bullet in her stomach. So, are you guys wanting to just make the drop-off, or are you wanting to get some medical attention first?
Drop first?
As not the one who needs medical attention, I'll not make that.
Sunshine, do you feel like you're going to bleed to death anytime in the next 15 to 20 minutes? It's not an appropriate answer. Yes or no, please.
Not or shake your head or you can't speak.
I'm probably not gonna die in the next 20 minutes. I kind of want to, but...
Would you like a creature to cuddle?
Don't summon anything more, you've used lots of magic today already.
Oh, sweet of you to care, Huggy. Are there cushions in the back of the van, or like old seat cushions that aren't in use?
No. The back of the van is very Spartan.
Oh, look, here's a spanner. Here's a spanner for you to cuddle while we drop off the drugs, and we'll take you to a nice, friendly street doctor.
You're a spanner, Tiger.
Love you too, Mav.
Right, let's drop off the drugs first. Since Sunshine is currently not asking to be taken to a street dog, we will take that as let's get this job done, let's get the drugs out of the car, and then we can go and do the street dog with less incriminating evidence.
Sensible.
You know where to go, and Huey, way back when, told you your contact was an orc called Breakdown. It actually takes a while to get over there because the whole goddamn city, well, it was gridlocked, and then you did what you did. Is anybody watching the news feeds or anything like that?
Yeah.
I've got one open.
There was a lot of press there that was covering what was happening at the docks after Tin Hat's little adventure. Misadventure? Adventure? I'm not sure which. And the traffic jam that was causing. And then a van slammed out of the gates, and then a few minutes later, a bomb went off, and part of the main road that runs alongside the docks has collapsed.
So, good, not a quiet news day. They've given a few people their big story for the next couple of weeks.
Yep, and it's absolutely humped traffic across the entire city.
Actually, that's just put me in a very good mood. There's chaos on the freeway that's not our fault for once, and we've done this job fairly successfully.
What do you mean it's not our fault?
Oh yeah, the bomb was us, wasn't it?
This is entirely our fault.
Yeah.
We caused both of the things that are currently causing this traffic.
Nope, back to being in a bad mood.
If you want, you can jump out. We're going to have tons of time. Jump out, go get us some snacks or something. Take a walk.
We might be quicker walking at this rate.
Probably.
I'd like to keep an eye on Sunshine. I was a mess when I awakened, and I went about it in the normal fashion. At this point, he's peering over Sunshine and pulling her eye open to stare into it a little bit. Occasionally, jamming fingers right into her neck to feel at her pulse, doing a bunch of other faintly medical-ish things.
Basically acting like a cat that is interested in something.
The drive should take you about 20 minutes. It actually takes about 2 hours, so anybody with stun, looking at you, Toiger and Maverick, could I get 2 body plus willpower rolls? Turn your wound slider off while making these, because it won't be affected by them. Alright, so you've recovered 5 of your stun points there, Toiger.
I'm down to a single stun, all as well.
Alright, so you recover 6 stun there, Mav.
Which is most of it.
Yeah, you're feeling a little bit better by the time you eventually fragging get over there.
Okay, on the other hand, is now feeling a lot worse, because he fucking hates traffic jams.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're rigging it, not manually driving it. Your clutch leg would be knackered. Mind you, it's America, so it'd probably be automatic anyway. But pulling up to make the drop-off, you honestly wonder if this is a safe house or a bunker. The bright colours of the old McHughes that this place is in are half disguised behind steel armour plating, with suns tags that have what you think are supposed to be gun ports cut into them. And you find yourselves being tracked by at least 2 obvious turrets with assault rifles in them. Yep, this is the bad part of town, just your kind of place.
It's nice to feel home again.
I like how they've managed to work the archer's slits, gun ports, whatever, into the larger mural work on the wall. It's very 2040s. I'm seeing a lot of...
For context, McHughes is McDonald's in Shadowrun, so it's now the Golden H instead of the Golden Arches. I have no idea why, it's just a thing, roll with it. Actually, it's probably said they didn't get sued in the early 90s.
Probably.
Copyright.
Yeah, this feels more like my part of town. We've been in the rich areas far too often.
Let's get this over with then, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Not to sound racist, but am I going to get shot if I step out of the car?
Possibly. It won't be because you're human, it'll just be because you stepped out of the car.
Maverick, you get out of the car first, then hold still so I can hide behind you. Sunshine, are you coming, or are you just going to sit on the floor and bleed?
Yeah. Okay, I'm coming. Ow.
I think she's past the bleeding stage now. She's now just oozing plasma.
I'm coming. Ow.
You want to carry?
Answering on Sunshine's behalf, yeah, somebody please pick her up. Also, we should see if these people have any, actual drugs, like proper painkillers, or is there a drug that makes bullets fall out of you when you take it? I don't know. I didn't do medicine, I did classical art.
Right, Huggy will pick up Sunshine.
And Mav takes the drugs.
When you step out the van, the front door of the McHughes has a big-ass orc outside it. He's actually not far off your size, Huggy, and he's got an assault rifle. It's just like a cheap AK, but it's still an assault rifle. And he's watching the street, and he's not giving you the stink eye as you get out, but he is watching you closely.
Yeah, well, I, get out, stretch a little. I've been sitting inside a Krieger cocoon for 2 hours. Lift Sunshine out of the van, make sure that she's in a sort of comfortable carrying position, and then, head over, letting Mav pick up the...
Are we talking Pieta or Fireman's Lift or...
What the fireman's lift is over the shoulder. I'm not going to carry her over the shoulder. I'm going to carry her.
Bridal carry?
Yeah, more like that.
Yay, Luna isn't able to do this.
Try and keep all the holes pointed upwards so that nothing else falls out. Unless the bullets are about to fall out, in which case, shake gently?
I am not shaking the patient.
I thought you were supposed to shake the patient. It stopped them becoming delirious, or...
I think you're talking telenovelas again.
Well, that's what happened in that Season 6 episode of the Plumes of Desire spin-off, where the woman's baby was dead, and she shook it and screamed, and then it got struck by lightning, and then it was suddenly a 14-year-old boy that they kept trying to do romance subplots with. It was awful.
Yeah, that one was... Anyway, no, we are not talking... I know we've just been talking telenovelas for 2 hours, but we need to stop talking telenovelas now because we are going to go into a drug deal with some very important gangers.
While this is happening, the orc who's on guard duty, he's just watching you guys get out and have this small argument. And he's just lighting up because he's got that look of, oh, this is going to take a while.
Right.
We will wander up to the guard orc and say, hello, we're here to see Breakdown. We have some party favours for him. And as you can see, we're all not in the greatest of shape or the best of moods, so we'll try and make this snappy.
He takes a very long, slow drag, breathes it out, and says, who's asking? Who sent you?
Well, I'm asking, as we can all see, and we were sent by...
And who the frag are you, short ass?
Huey gave us a job. We're doing the... we've got some stuff to drop off for you.
Oh, well, why didn't you lead with that?
Because this was more amusing.
Because Tiger is a twit.
Because of said aforementioned long day and not best shape.
Yeah.
This has been somewhat stressful.
Wait here, I'll get Breakdown. He disappears back inside for a couple of moments, and you can still see him. And this building, it's an old McHughes, and the doors have still got the rubber seals on them, so they're soundproofed. And you can see him just yelling into the back. There's arm gesturing that says, well, fragging hurry up then, going on. And he comes back out and tells you, should be a couple of minutes.
That's cool.
Do you want to come in? The fryer's still working.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're offering us food? Yes.
Is the ice cream machine working?
The ice cream machine's never working.
I thought that you were the sons of Sauron. You have access to some of the best engineers in the city. And what do you mean the ice cream machine is not working?
Tiger, calm down. I don't think even they could actually fix the ice cream machines. You know what the McHughes ice cream machines are like.
How do you even know that joke, Tiger? Have you ever been in a McHughes in your life?
I mean, I was going to the ones in Rhode Island in what's called Providence, and I went to the one on what's it called? And I went to the one on the Champs-Elysees where the H is blue instead of yellow. But yes, I have been to a McHughes, Maverick.
On the Champs-Elysees?
I'm posh. I'm not quite that bad.
What is the Champs-Elysees?
It's in France.
Fair enough.
The orc is just giving you this look of, frag my life.
Yeah, so they thought that the yellow H would detract from the natural beauty of the street, so they made them put a blue one up instead. They do have a solid gold H inside that you can pay 5 new yen to go in and look at. Or was it euros? I forget.
That sounds very French.
The guard orc takes another drag on his cigarette and says, "How's somebody not fragging stolen that yet?"
Because there are 2 armed guards beside it at all times and a watcher spirit. It gave me the middle finger. I was very upset.
Surely that's just an obstacle, not... oh, come in, just... frag it.
I think you understand now why these conversations go like this.
He takes you in and sits you down in one of the old booths. You do notice that they do seem to have maintained the internal security systems of this place, even though it's abandoned. So, McHugh's is famous for having turrets loaded with gel rounds in them for when the gangers kick off, and occasionally they deploy the neurostun gas.
So the one on the Champs-Élysées didn't have those, it just had the 2 armed trolls and the watcher spirit.
Probably did have them, you just weren't looking.
Just because you
Anyway.
couldn't see the turrets doesn't mean there weren't turrets.
McHugh's is quite popular for a certain kind of meat for exactly this reason, because if you try anything, you'll get covered in high-velocity paintball. Anyway, he sits you down and says to you, "Look, breakdown, she'll be out in a couple of minutes. I need to go back out and watch the door." And somebody eventually brings you over. I mean, it's not... Even as McHugh's burgers go, it's not a very good soy burger, but hey, free soy burger.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
And eventually a female orc comes out. She's got chrome. So half of her head is a cyber skull, and she's shaved that side of her head and combed her hair over to the other side so she can show it off better. And she's also got... Her left arm is a cyber arm, and she's got pretty obvious cyberware running up the back of her neck as well.
Sunshine, do your best to keep your new eyes closed.
Yeah, Huggy will get up, sort of greet her.
She shakes your hand, good firm handshake. She nods at you and says, "Are you the lunatics that Huey hired?"
Yes, we are.
So,
Hi.
over the last few days, I've seen a car taken out with concrete that belonged to the guy that Huey mentioned to me. And today, there's been a god almighty explosion at the docks. I'm assuming things went well.
That's definitely one way of putting it.
All right, what have you got for me? Come on, show me the gear.
Not nearly as much as we wanted to take. There was a lot down there, but we needed to get out without too many bullet holes in us. As you can see, that went about as well as you could expect. So we don't have the whole... we could have filled the back of the van with lots to spare.
Filled the back of the van about 7 times over. Instead, Mav opens the toolbox.
We managed to get out this much.
I think you also shoved it on the inside of your coat, didn't you?
Yes.
So you've now just got this lined coat lined with drugs.
Speaking of getting shot, if you've got anyone who's got, their first aid training with hands going idle, this is Sunshine. She's had kind of a rough time of it recently.
Yeah, if you've got a street dog or no one, we'd be appreciative.
I can get you in touch with a street dog. So, we'll sort things out first. What have you got for me? What did you manage to grab? And she basically gets you to pile it all up on the table and starts going through it. And they're checking the bags, unzipping just a corner of it with a little knife, and getting a different member of the gang to take a half of each different thing so she can work out what they are and stuff like that.
We'll go through what we've already worked out, what each one is, etc.,
Yep.
etc.
Are you giving them the packet of the weird drag?
No.
We're giving them the whole packet and keeping samples, I believe.
No, we're not giving them the weird shit.
They clearly hired us to get the weird shit.
Actually, yeah, are these guys selling the drugs on, or are these guys...
You weren't told that they're a street gang, but you get the impression they probably are.
So there was another item aside from the rather tawdry display here. We are rather loath to part with it. It is of particular interest to us.
Yeah, there's something here which we don't know what it is, and we're not sure what it does, except that it's going to need to go to someone who's like... I don't want to give it to you guys because I don't know what it is and I don't know what it's going to do to people.
If it will help in the interest of clarity in this newfound friendship we're developing, Miss Breakdown, this is Sunshine. If any of your, and Poiby just sort of looks around at the assembled gangers and says, associates are magically inclined, they will notice that she is a minor magician. She was not when she woke up this morning.
She looks at you
Hi.
confused and says, associates? What do you think we are? Do you think we're the mafia?
Well, would you rather I said boyfriends?
She goes very, very serious for a moment, kind of dead face. Just looks you in the eye and says, no.
Well, you have associates then, madam.
If you want to punch Tiger, we won't hold it against you.
Oh, everyone wants to punch me. It's just very few people actually do and live to regret it, he says, raising a finger when he sees like one of her fists move.
I would appreciate it if you did not punch our mage. However, I will not stop you.
I won't stop you either.
She looks like she's seriously considering it, and then she says, nah, as fun as it'd be, not today. All right, tell me what you want.
Tiger's a mousy little git, but he gets the job done. So yeah, this stuff.
All right, tell you what, let's have a look
This
at
stuff does weird magic shit, and as much as it's just going up the noses of some random shit people, I'm not sure I want this on the streets, and I don't think anybody else wants this on the streets either.
it. All right, I tell you what, we'll get...
This is bringing back feelings of, what was that shit called? The weird
You
one.
mean Tempo? Last
Yeah,
year.
this is giving
the
me-
whole thing.
This is giving me tempo vibes.
Oh, frag, please tell me it's not tempo.
I don't think it's tempo,
All right,
but if it is, I don't want it going on the streets. And if
Well,
it is,
I'll
we
be
have
honest.
a bigger problem.
Yeah, I'll be honest, we don't want Tempo 2 Electric Boogaloo either.
What is tempo?
Tempo is this weird drug that showed up a little while, ran through the community like fucking fire, killed a lot of people, got a lot of people very hooked, and did some weird shit. And we don't know where it came from. Don't
It
really know
didn't
who's
come
selling
in
it.
through the usual, drug importing channels. So
Yeah,
there was
that's-
this whole tempo war between, on one side, the cartels and the police. All the cartels and the police. And on the other side, I think it's the ghost cartels they're called.
Yeah, there's a whole adventure about it. I might run it one day. But she looks at you all and says, all right, look, we'll probably not sell it because we don't want the dreck that comes with bioengineered alchemical drugs. But we'll see if we can find out some dreck for you. Look, give me your comp code and I'll see if I can ask around a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got contacts too. We'll let you know what it is if we find out.
Yeah, we've taken.
All right, that's
Yeah, this shit is fucking weird, and
Don't mess with it.
yeah,
So there's a little bit more back and forth, and she chats with you a bit longer. She does give you the full pay that was agreed on, so 28k in total.
yeah.
And you've also got the info that you stole off
Yep.
the OIBAN
We will sell that later.
that you can sell to Giuseppe. Cool. So you've collected your money, and she chucks in the phone number of a street doc as a bonus. All right, we need to make up a new street doc. So I'm going to do this together. What gender and meta type is our new street doc?
Orc.
Yep.
I'm going to say they are. Let's go with male.
Okay, and what part of New York are they in? Are they in Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx? Are they way out in Rhode Island?
They're not in Queen.
They're in Queens, okay. And what's their cover for being a street doc? Are they Is it like a community clinic? Are they a vet? Are they a failed med student?
Vet, trained as a vet, no qualifications in human medicine.
Okay.
They work for they officially work for one of the racing circuits.
So, horse doctor.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be in like a AA area if they're actually working on real biological horses.
I mean, that's where they work. Their clinic is
If this is the favoured street dog of a gang from an e-rated slum, it's probably not working out of a AAA or AA.
However, there is...
Americans don't really do greyhound racing, I think, so we can't use that.
The sixth world, I think anything could become a pastime in that sort of time frame.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. The Simpsons, Santa's Little Helper, their dog in the series. So, yeah, what about...
they had the whole racing...
Actually, yes, dog racing is a much more reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Flushing is a good area. It's D-rated, it's got some more, some A-rated and B-rated areas around it, so it's got that veneer of credibility.
And what cultural background are they from? Are they, like, typical American? Are they, I don't know, Armenian or...
East Asian. They are Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, okay.
Very upper class, like Uyghur level upper class, posh, twittery, brought low by circumstance.
I have no fucking idea what the accent for that will sound like.
Suffering.
I'm choosing the most pronounceable of these. Nagoya Tiao Bao. And I have no frigging clue what the naming convention is in terms of like placement of given and family name for this. So...
Family name, personal name.
Cool. So they're Tiao Bao. That's the real name. What would their street name be?
Baobun.
Baobun. Are you heading over to the street dock or are you doing something else?
Yeah, we're going to get Sunshine to the street dog. We are not taking her back to Luna without having taken her to a street dog first.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey Luna, here's your girlfriend. She's got a bullet in her. Now she's a vacant. Bye!
Have any of us met Luna?
I've talked to her.
I've met Luna a couple of times, taking Sunshine back to her place.
I'm going to say that Breakdown has sent a text ahead to the guy to tell him to expect you. You're not just turning up on his door with a bleeding American Japanese girl. So, when you get there, it's a vet, and you've been told to go around the back, and a guy opens the door. He's in vet nurse scrubs, and he tells you to come in and go through to one of the exam rooms. Tells you to sit down on the table, and he tells you to wait a little while, and then an Asian orc comes through and just says, "I'm Dr. Baobun. What have you done?"
Got slightly shot.
And may or may not have taken quite a lot of drugs. I say may or may not. We have taken quite a lot of drugs.
Oh, yeah. I also accidentally...
Yeah, you're still high right now.
So, yeah, I got up this morning and I did some stuff.
Didn't brush your teeth?
I don't want to know details beyond the medical.
So, then a guy shot me, and then a guy hit me in the face.
Unfortunate. Puts a damper on your day.
A bit. Then a guy hit me in the face with a big packet of drugs that made me awaken. And then my eyes are glowing blue, and I can't...
Sorry, back that up. Wind that back. You huffed some drugs, and now you do the wiggly fingers.
Yeah, I didn't do them like 3 hours ago. I'm having a very strange day. More like 4 hours at this point. 4 hours.
He goes over to the medical cabinet, roots around inside a little bit, pulls out a cheap bottle of bourbon, takes a pull on the bottle, and then hands it to Sunshine.
I wouldn't drink that. It's Glenrury. The still it's made and has never seen a damp cloth or soap. Also, it's like drinking shoe leather.
He looks you over and says, "With my clientele, the dogs I work on, yeah, you need this Drek."
Could you not pick something nicer at least?
Nope, it's cheap and it gets me fragged.
Fair enough.
Tiger, not everyone can afford the expensive booze.
I can't afford the expensive booze, so I choose not to drink.
Therein lies my problem.
You choose a lot of things. Not drinking is not one of them.
I'm going to go find some puppies, or maybe a cat to play with.
I really wouldn't touch the Rottweiler puppies in the back. Mum's pissy. So, young lady, you got shot.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, that's the main thing I'm here about,
Right.
to be clear.
Okay, that I can help you with. Then you huffed a load of weird drugs. Not recommended.
Not intentionally.
Fair enough. Now you do the wiggly fingers.
Yep.
Alright. Is there anything else I should know about?
You did a line of Nova Coke fairly recently.
Yeah, and then I did some Nova Coke
Okay.
on account of the whole getting shot thing.
Pain relief in the field. I get it. Fair enough.
Yeah, and then I didn't have a burger because I figured I was going to have surgery, and then we're here.
Hang on. Wind that one back. A Shadowrunner who's sensible and didn't eat before coming for surgery.
This is not my first time having surgery, chummer.
He takes out a thermometer and says, "Don't worry, it's been dipped in surgical spirit. It normally goes in the back end, but I take it you'd prefer the front." And as you're sat there with your mouth open in confusion, he just pops it in your mouth.
You know, you'd be amazed how many men have asked me that.
Hey, I don't treat that kind of drag. Alright, so, anything else relevant I should know about?
No, fair amount of stuff you probably shouldn't.
You're damn right there is, like how the bullet got there in the first place. Alright, so,
Magically happens to turn up.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it, how they get into the most awkward of places. You're walking down the street, you trip over, you land on a bullet, and it lodges itself in your hip.
I imagine you deal with a lot of "I sat on it," and that's why there's now a fully articulated action man in my backside. Sunshine, you're not anemic or diabetic or have any medical allergies, or is this non-toxic surgical steel or anything like that?
See, Aries man up the jacksie, that I'm okay with dealing with. It was the guy who got a vintage Buzz Lightyear toy up there and the wings extended. It was oh god, getting those wings shut. Drag me.
Ah, the wondrous elasticity of the human anus.
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
He looks very confused.
It's not anime, so she doesn't care. If it was Attack on Titan, she'd be all over it.
Oh yeah, she understands that.
Problem was, somebody was all over Buzz.
All around.
Yeah. You've got a friend in me.
Jack may take a point of karma. Toyga may not, but Jack can.
I'm going to spend it on, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Anyway, so he looks you over and says, "Have you had magical healing?"
Some stuff. Did I get magical healing, Toiger? Did I get magical healing?
Yeah, I didn't want to do any magical healing and risk you inadvertently resisting it and making things worse. Also, I didn't touch the Rottweiler puppies, but you did not mention that there were Greyhound puppies. And he just holds two of them up.
Ridiculous stick dogs that they are.
He takes off his glasses and says to you very seriously, "Do you know how much each one of those pups is worth?"
Let me think. My Aunt Marlene was really into dog racing. They're purebreds. How many generations removed are they from Laylaps?
Let me put it this way. I could buy most of the property on the block for one of those pups. Please put them back.
Ah, so they're full removed. Excellent. I'll go put these weirdo guys back here, even though they are so very cute. And you just hear, like, quietly as Toiga walks down the corridor, progressively more quiet, utter brain rot that you speak to cute animals.
He looks you over, Sunshine, and he says, "Well, if you've not had magical healing, this shouldn't be too bad. Shall we? We'll sort the bill out at the end. You're going to need to stay in overnight. Got good news for you, though."
Do I get my own kennel?
Got two bits of good news for you, then.
Yay.
You've got a wet nose. It's not all bad. And he just gives you a shit-eating grin.
My confidence in you, Doctor, is going up and up.
Good. At least this time I've got a patient who can tell me where it actually does hurt. Come through to surgery. Let's get you scrubbed up. Okay, I'm going to need to do a medicine roll. Sunshine, you'll need to drop... Oh, what is the stock cost of staying at a street doc's clinic?
That is 1,000 yen a day.
Alright, well, if you will get punched full of lead. Okay, I'm just going to do the roll for the street doc. Cool. Could you give me a body plus body roll without any penalties at +3 there, Sunshine?
Coming up, that'll be 7 dice.
Yep.
Whoa, 5 hits.
Yep, so you are basically good to go home the next morning.
Yay.
And
I'm going to say that the whole time she was there, Toyga has not left at all, just sort of frantically staring at her, giving her the evils to the doctor when he comes over to do checks, just sort of, I am still angry, but it's fear anger and protectiveness.
Right. I'm assuming that we're all covering the cost of this.
We're 4 people, so 250 each.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also assuming we're going to be covering the cost of van repairs collectively.
Oh yeah, how much money did we get?
We got 28k between us,
That's 7,000 each.
but don't subtract that until we've allocated medical care and van repairs.
yeah, the doc patches you up. It's not actually too bad. He settles you down in one of the XXL kennels that he's cleaned out. There is still a faint smell of dog, but he has made sure that it's properly cleaned and actually quite comfortable. I mean, hell, a Great Dane is twice your weight.
I think a medium Dane is about twice my weight.
While Sunshine is in the quote-unquote hospital, are you having a chat with her at all, Toyga, or anybody else who wishes to do so?
So while she lies there convalescing, Toyga is sort of like sitting next to her and doing like some basic magical affinity tests. So, right, so I'm going to make 6 different hand signs. You tell me when you see the magical one. Okay, I want you to tell me when I've started casting the spell, and I want you to tell me when I stop.
I'm just going to check something. Yeah. So, as we discussed, Sunshine, you are now a Mystic Adept, which means that you cannot see the astral. So, some of these, you just have no fragging idea what Toyga's on about.
Okie dokie.
Do you attempt to get her to cast any spells or anything like that?
Not so much casting spells, but I try and get her to do the sort of motions that Toyga does when he's attempting to use magic. So, like, I need you to focus on the palms of your hands. I need you to feel every nerve ending, every blood vessel, every little muscle, and all the tension that's there. I need you to try and push it out of your hand somehow. Can you try that?
Meh?
Right, okay.
What? I do what?
Right, so you're clearly not perceiving astrally. Like, look at me. Like, look at me. Like, at me, right? Right, now, open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, open them.
They're already open.
No, they're not. Open them properly.
Toyga, what the frag are you on?
Also, you're high as shit on morphine right now because, you've just been opened up to get bullet fragments out.
Can we, Toyga, can we maybe do this, like, another day? I'm like, yeah. Like, okay. I've barely had any sleep. Do you want to know why I've barely had any sleep? Do you see the whole glowing eye thing? I can still see that when I close my eyes. I can't turn this off.
I'm still not going to be able to see you when you open your... he's making little notes on his comlink as he's doing this. So this is all deeply strange. I'm going to have to do some research when I get home. You try and get some sleep. You've been awake for a very long time, and you were shot recently.
Yeah, I know. Toyga, could you...
I'm going to go talk to Dr. Baobun again. I'm sure I know his face from somewhere.
When you come in, Dr. Baobun is elbow deep in a particularly large guard dog that has its tail between its legs and looks the saddest you have ever seen a dog look. And Baobun just looks at you and says, "Not now. It's eaten a plastic bag and it's nearly out the other end."
So, Toyga's still got 2 services left on his Bound Spirit of Beasts.
Yeah.
The Bound Spirit of Beasts has, like, talk to animals is just an inherent thing it can do.
Yeah.
So Toyga goes in and he snaps his fingers and the beast spirit appears.
The dog it seems to be caught between I want to dive at this thing and tear it apart with my teeth, and oh God, what are you doing to me?
Convey this message to that poor dog over there. Neither myself nor the doctor mean it any harm. What we're about to do to it is for its own good. Offer it reassurance, and try to get it to stop backing away towards the door so we can get the plastic bag out of its backside.
You have never seen a dog look so dubious.
Yeah, it's a cat telling it that.
God, yeah, it's a spirit of beast that looks like a cat. Of course it doesn't fucking trust it. I fucking wouldn't. A cat saying it means no harm. Yeah, fuck off. Anyway, what were you going to ask Dr. Balbert?
I'm almost certain I know your face from somewhere. You're not from Providence, are you? You don't know the Marleybones?
He glances in your direction, Toyga, and says, if I did, I would not be saying so.
You don't know the De Peraltos, do you?
Isn't that a kind of beer, Peroni?
No, the De Peraltos are the family that own the Marleybones. Never mind, it was just a thought.
Give me a judge intentions there, Toyga.
Give me a second.
You get the sense that he's probably drecking you, but you also get the sense he doesn't want a fragging talk about it.
Fair enough. You're probably not the Dr. Nguyen I knew. The Dr. Nguyen I knew made off with some very, very expensive puppies.
That would be a bad idea. Drek like that gets you killed, especially when people talk about it. What can I do for you?
I was just popping in. How's my friend doing? She's likely to be out here tomorrow, you say? There's no long-term damage to her internals? No?
Nope, she was lucky. It nicked the small intestine, but we were able to take a little bit out and patch her up. Didn't hit the spine, didn't hit anything essential, didn't hit the bowel. She'll be a bit sore for a few days, but she'll be alright.
I couldn't get you to take another look at her eyes. They're keeping her awake. You don't heal if you don't sleep.
He pulls his arm out of the dog, rips the glove off inside out, puts it in the bio-waste bin, and starts washing his hands. Looks at you over his shoulder and says, look, you're the one who said she's awakened.
Well, she wasn't yesterday morning, but she is now, yes.
Alright. It's only my problem insofar as it's medically relevant past that stage. Now, I am not awakened, chummer. I know Drek all about magic, beyond occasionally there's a guy who comes in to do a little bit of magical healing for me. Are those eyes likely to be magic?
Yes.
Then you're asking the wrong person.
You know Drek all about magic. I know a great deal. Everything I know about magic tells me this shouldn't be possible.
Well, you're still asking the wrong guy. Now, unless you'd like me to identify which stuffer shack this placky bag came from that I've just pulled out of Boris's butthole, is there anything else?
No. It's a shame you're not the Dr. Nguyen I knew. I still have his fob watch.
That would be unfortunate for him.
Very poor man. I believe there were threats made about making his skin into rain boots.
Yeah. Never liked the rain.
I'm going to go keep an eye on my friend. You go back to extricating plastic bags from the arseholes of Rottweilers, or... I don't actually know what that is. Ugly but well-intentioned, possibly?
Ugly and ill-intentioned, usually. He's high as Drek right now, though.
Okay, goodbye, Doctor. Goodbye, Boris. Now, come along, go on, Shoo. And Toyga and his spirit just sort of wander off.
Boris looks like he wants to growl at you, but he has just been violated in the most awful way and just wants to go back to bed.
Also, a cat started talking to him. He did not know cats could do that, and he does not think they should be allowed to.
Alright, so time skip to the next day. Sunshine will get out around lunchtime. What are our other two runners doing in the meantime? Are you just going home and sleeping?
I'm going to try and get the van fixed as soon as possible.
Alright, so are you going to Lertzog or to somebody else?
I'll go to Lutzog. I trust them not to speak about it.
So you head over to Lertzog's. It's the usual deal. They're an antisocial frag bag, but you get on with them. I should probably check how much repairs cost.
1% of vehicle's total cost per box of damage.
Fuck it, I'll go off the basic cost of a bulldog. For a bulldog, it's 35k base, so 5% of 35k?
17,500.
So 1,750.
Correct.
Cool, because that sounded like you were saying 17,000, which is fucking extortionate.
I did. It was wrong. I put the right numbers in the wrong decimal places.
Right, so that's 1,750.
So you're getting Lurtzog to help you out.
Yeah.
So you're... Bloody hell, they rolled well. Okay, so you'll get 6 additional dice out of Lurtzog there, Huggy. So you'll be... I'm going to say your threshold is 8. You have... What's your logic, please, Huggy?
My logic is 3.
And you'll have the plans available.
Yeah.
That'll be a +1, and you're in superior working conditions until some parts are superior. So you get an additional +3. So roll it with a +9, please, Huggy.
That's automotive motive mechanic, yeah?
That's correct, yes.
With a +9.
You hit the threshold first time.
Nice.
So it takes 1 day of work. So basically on the 12th for you to deal with that.
Right, so yeah, we take the... So basically, we drive the van over to Lurtzog's.
If Huggy's going back to Staten Island, I ask for a lift home.
Yeah, I happily give it.
Yep. Spending the day training to work on increasing your magic.
Going back to my training, yeah.
That brings us to the end of the 13th. Sunshine's getting out of the hospital. Toyga's keeping an eye on her. Huggy's repairing the van. Mav's just working on training his magic. What are you doing come the 14th? Are you guys just taking the day for yourselves, or are you doing something else?
I think at this point we go and give the data to...
When Sunshine's back online, we go see Giuseppe.
I'm probably going to chum Sunshine home and actually meet Luna. So does Huggy give us a lift, or do we have to catch a cab, or...
Well, at this point the van is... When Sunshine gets out of prison, the van will still be getting repaired, I think.
Okay, so we're going to... Do you want a subway, or do you want a cab? You just go sort of get poked awake on the morning of the 14th, like, Sunshine,
Yeah.
Sunshine,
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Tiger.
Sunshine, the doctor's kicking us out. It's 9:30. Do you want to get a cab home, or do you want to get the subway?
Are you offering a cab?
I will get you a cab home if you need a cab home.
Then I need a cab home.
Okay, so how much is a cab from here to there?
Just take it out your lifestyle.
Okie dokie.
I'm not working that shit out.
Right, so cab home. What's Sunshine and Luna's house like? Where do they live?
It's in where Brownstone kind of...
It's the nicest houses of all of us by far.
Yeah, it's kind of...
That's because they're splitting their living expenses 2 ways.
Yeah, it's a Brownstone, like, second-story apartment. It's pretty nice, kind of open plan. It's an older building, but it's been, like, remodeled inside to kind of open it up. It's kind of in a hipsterish sort of area.
Toyga likes it. There's actual coffee.
And you're the one always calling me bougie while you're living in a refitted brownstone. Great question. Is Luna in?
So I take it Luna's out then.
It doesn't really matter. I'm sure I'll get to meet her eventually. Basically, Toyga tips Sunshine into bed, throws a duvet over her, makes her a cup of tea, which she sort of just leaves on the nightstand next to her in case she wants it. And he fusses about for a bit, does some tidying up. He finds like a scrap of paper on him and writes a letter to Luna. It's basically just a quick rundown of what happened, puts his comm number on there, and says, any magical questions, please call me. I will put you in touch with answers. XOXOXO, and then he folds it in half and writes Luna on it. And he puts it somewhere in the flat where she's going to find it as soon as she gets home.
So this is like afternoon, right?
Yeah.
So he's just tried to put a fairly awake, if very tired, Sunshine to bed, and then just chucked a duvet overhead, and you can just see from underneath 2 little blue circles glowing.
You know, if I hadn't seen the Drek I've seen, you could potentially be a very spooky woman at the minute, Sunshine. Like, he just throws a blanket over on top of the duvet to try and hide the blue glowies, but nope, can still see them. Nope.
I'm having a very strange few days.
I imagine Toyga will be getting a phone call later, largely consisting of absolutely raging Azatlana Spanish.
That will be a very fun conversation that we have.
Also, Huggy, before we go, you get a text message from Huey. It's probably the longest text message you've ever seen from him. And it basically says, "Thank you for getting that job done. Did you really need to blow up the highway?"
Huey, my dearest and longest friend. You asked us to do a lot. We managed to do that with, frankly, minimal disruption.
The fact you don't get a text back is probably Huey's way of saying, "Yeah, fine, right then, okay."
You asked us to shut down a major Yakuza drug smuggling operation. And if we only blew up one highway.
Thank you for spending some time with us and listening to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast. We hope that you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time for our next episode. In the meantime, a vet is actually a pretty normal place for runners to go for medical advice. But what's the weirdest expert that you folks have ever gone to? Let us know on our Discord. Intro is More Human Than Human by Carl Casey, and the background music is also by Carl Casey. Outro music is Neon Thrills by Luck Hash, and all sound effects are credited in the show notes. The Tops Company Inc. has granted permission to the Pride Against Prejudice podcast to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any other proprietary material for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with the Pride Against Prejudice podcast in any official capacity whatsoever. All other works mentioned in this podcast remain the property of their respective owners. The Pride Against Prejudice podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license, so if you want to use any part of the show, please give us the credit. See you next time, chummers.